Hi guys, I'm doing a review for Iron Fist. I enjoyed it very much towards the end, especially because at the beginning it felt more of like a origin, what happened before, setting up for what will happen. And yes, it was very good. I loved it. But just warning you now, this is a spoiler review, so you have been warned. This is a spoiler review. I'm going to start now. Well, to be honest, the intro, like the start screen, which says Iron Fist, I liked at first, but then it got quite annoying and I felt it was quite sloppy, not very elegant with like the people doing whatever martial arts it is. I can't remember if it's Kung Fu or Taekwondo or something. I really can't remember. But the visuals, sorry, I'm just looking at my notes. So the visuals were okay. They didn't use very many bright lights, especially uh, towards the end, really. But episode 1 or 2, can't particularly remember. There was a part where they were at a festival, um, where Danny was running away from people who were trying to kill him. That was a very beautiful scene. I loved it. But I think they could have done that in a lot more places. Not exactly like running away, but the bright lights made it look a bit more vibrant. Um, the characters, Danny Rand, I thought was quite repetitive in his speech. I thought the things he said were repeated quite a few times. It got a bit annoying. But he was a fun character to watch develop. And yeah, I enjoyed that. Colleen, I thought she betrayed him, but somehow they become all great again so soon. But I think she was very likable. She was a very good and compelling character to watch. She was great. Um, I can't remember the name of this. I can't believe I can actually not remember this. But the woman that is in all 4 of the Marvel TV shows on Netflix, her presence was quite funny. And she's got a lot stronger based on like how much she can fight. Although you don't see much of her fighting people throughout the TV show, you see her um, kind of like uh, train with Colleen, but no proper fighting against other people. Um, Another thing that I need to mention is throughout they mention Daredevil, Luke Cage, and Jessica Jones. I was quite annoyed because a lot of the time they would mention Daredevil and Luke Cage, but not Jessica Jones, and that would really annoy me. There was points where Jessica Jones was mentioned, and that was really good. There was one part where Joy had many photos of like one of her old co-workers having an affair or something, and she said that she hired a private investigator, and she was great when she wasn't drunk. Well, when she was sober, I think she said. And I loved that bit. I was just like, is this going to be a moment for Jessica Jones when I like saw about the camera? Like, of course, she's not going to be very good at taking photos of stuff like that because they'd be like hard to get. I think they say something like that in the TV show. So I was like, this is a moment for Jessica Jones, and it was. So that was really great. I loved that part. Uh, Also, Luke Cage gets a part, like a reference, when Danny needs a new shirt and he's given one by the woman I can't remember the name of. God. A shirt is given to him and it had bullet holes in. If you've seen Luke Cage, you'll probably remember that t shirt. He was green and he just got shot so much with it on. Um, it was very, very good to watch. All overall, it was really compelling and really interesting and quite different, really. I know a lot of people have been saying this is a setup for the Defenders, and it might as well be. Like, it is. You can. At some points, you can see it's a setup, maybe, I think. But it it seems like its own TV show, which is good. The ending still doesn't make sense to me because it leaves off where his dojo place, wow, can't remember the name of that either, surprising. I'm going to have to write this stuff down. But it disappears when he tries to go back there. And it leaves the scene with him there and with Colleen, he's there and it just cuts out after he finds out it's gone. And I think it ends zooming into his eye or something, I can't remember. Before that though, Joy, uh, Danny's friend from his place, and this Chinese woman who was the first main enemy at the beginning shows up. Well, they are all talking. Besides the Chinese woman, she's listening in the background, which I thought was quite good and a bit confusing at points. But Joy and his friend are talking. Sorry, I really can't remember these names. I'm going to have to start remembering them. But they're talking and they're suggesting that Denny Rand be killed. I'm confused on this because Joy has been defending and trying to get closer to Danny throughout the show, even suggesting not to do stuff to him, even though Ward wanted to, and so did Ward and Joy's dad, Harold, I think. There was a point where Harold turned on Danny, and Joy just began hating Harold for it, and the whole premise of wanting to kill Danny with Joy and his friend is one thing. I think for Joy, it was brought up that this would bring her old life back, and that is, I think, probably what she wants based on how much bad stuff has happened in that life. She wants to go back to how it was before, when it was happy, before Danny Rand. But I think Danny's friend just wants to be the Iron Fist. That's why he wants Danny dead, to then become the Iron Fist for himself. That is my theory. You may have another theory. Please let me know if you do. But I was very confused, and I really hope they do something on that in the Defenders. I don't expect they will make a second season. That just doesn't make sense based on Luke Cage hasn't got a second season. Jessica Jones hasn't got a second season. Don't know why Daredevil has. I never connected with Daredevil as much as I did the other two. But, yeah. I don't see why they would make it into a season 2. But they could implement a lot of time into Danny's storyline into the Defenders. So yeah, this has been my review / overview of Iron Fist. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you.